Let me explain. Some of you have come up to me and says, well, we're looking forward to your speech and all that. Obviously, you've not attended a Thompson Dialogue before. I get to do very little talking. So what we do, for those who are not familiar, what we do is we organize these dialogues on a regular basis or fairly regular basis. Particularly, there's a topical issue. We did one for education, we did one for the budget, we did one for COE, and so on and so forth, when it's topical. And we organized this particular dialogue when the minimum sum was recently increased to 155,000. If you read the newspapers and the blogs and so on, many people appear to have received that news with some surprise. Although it was something which was announced way back in 2003, there was a formula that was in place and so on and so forth. So there was a sense amongst us that maybe we should do a CPF dialogue to do two things. Number one, to clarify any issues people may have about CPF, but more importantly, to talk about how we can improve the system together. What feedback you may have, what difficulties we have, how we can tweak it. And it's quite opportune because the Ministry of Manpower has announced that they are actually going to review the CPF system and aspects of it. So just like the COE one, where they announced, MOT announced they're going to review it, what we thought we'll do is that we have a dialogue, get your feedback, put together a paper which we will publish to everyone and send it to the relevant ministry. We did that for COE, for Ministry of Transport. We intend to do that today and submit your feedback to the Ministry of Manpower. So I've got note takers in the room who will be taking down things that you say and so on. After we announced and after we organized this dialogue, then a few days later someone said something about CPF and apparently the whole world then stopped spinning. And it took, this particular issue took a different turn. So contrary to what some people say, this dialogue wasn't organized because it was a hot topic. This dialogue was organized in relation to the increase of minimum sum, and what happened subsequently was a bit unfortunate. So it's not meant to politicize, and this is not supposed to be a political dialogue. This is meant to be talking about how we can improve lives together as Singaporeans. So I hope everyone takes that in the right spirit. Now, the dialogue will be organized, as with other dialogues, we're not doing anything differently this time. As with other dialogues, we're going to do it in 3 segments. One, we'll have someone to come up, and I'll introduce her in a minute, to talk about the CPF system, as is Ms. Yip Chu Fong. She's a Master Financial Consultant. She's here representing IFPAS, the Institute of Financial
Insurance and Financial
Association
of Singapore.
Association of Singapore. I'm sorry, I can never get acronyms right. So she's from IFPAS. She's here. She'll be opening up the session and she'll talk about CPF as it is. Okay, she's not here to comment about what it should be or what it isn't. She'll just tell you about what it is as it is. And insofar as you have any questions about CPF as it is, feel free to ask us some questions. And I think that's important because one of the things we found when we talk to people is that different people have different ideas about what CPF as it is today is. So I think it's important that we all start our discussions on a common platform so that there are no misunderstandings. What we also will do is that I think the Business Times did a very nice chart of CPF monies and how it's invested and how many % you get on what account and so on. I know it's a bit difficult to follow, but the Business Times did a very, I think, a very helpful chart. And we'll be distributing those, to everyone so that when you go in for your discussions, again, you have a common platform to work off. All these are just facts. No one is making, again, no one is saying anything whether it's good or bad, it's just yes, it is. After we have the talk, we do what we always do, which is to break out into groups. We break out into groups to discuss different issues. Now, we found in previous dialogues that if there are no fixed topics, then people just, the discussions will not go anywhere. We wanted to talk about certain concrete issues, and so we worked out a list of questions. I'm not here to restrict you from saying things, but we thought we'd just come up with some questions. And you'll find that when you go through the questions that it will probably cover what you want to talk about anyway. But if we have it in a series of questions, then at least our minds will be focused. And after you've had your time to discuss, it will give you about an hour to discuss amongst yourselves. We'll come back and the different groups will then make presentations. That we found also helpful because if you have ideas and you have proposals, then it's good to test it in a group of 10 or 15 people. And if you cannot get consensus amongst 15 people, you're not going to get consensus in amongst 130 people, and much less 3.5 million people. So test your ideas, and within the same group, if you can come up with a consensus of an idea or proposal or comment, then your group leader, and you can appoint whoever you want, will then come up and present it to the group, and we have questions and so on. And so the third segment of our dialogue, of our forum, will be basically the different groups presenting. And whoever presents, just know that we usually open it to the floor, and the presenter can be asked any question on his proposal, his idea, his comment, and so on. And that's it. And then we'll do a roundup, and that's it. So, as I said, the whole session is not, contrary to popular belief, it's not for me to tell you things. It's really for me to listen to you and to find out what you want and find out what the issues are, so that we can put our paper together and send it to the ministry for their consideration when we actually review the system. Okay, so after Ms. Yip does her talk, I'll come back and I'll just give you some ground rules so that we can do it in a constructive and timely manner, and then we have a good talk. All right, okay, please welcome Ms. Yip. Thank you.